The impressive list of awards and decorations that Major General Kevin Kennedy has accumulated in a military career that started in 1986 and continues today speak volumes about what he has accomplished and contributed to his country. But in discussions with past high school friends and teachers, there are other characteristics worth looking into to get a complete picture. Speed has always played a major role in shaping the future for Kevin. A good guess might be that he is the only one present tonight that has broken the sound barrier while piloting a B-1 aircraft. But one has to wonder if that love of speed started on Route 395 when he and friends would return from their regular trip to McDonald's in Dayville and pass French fries back and forth as their cars raced side by side back to the home base. His generosity is without question. His wisdom as to when it should be practiced, not so much. A slight move of the arm while taking a chemistry test in Mr. Peters' class enabled a friend sitting behind, who shall remain nameless, to obtain some correct answers. But you can't outsmart John Peters. The culprits were caught, and despite denials, an F on the test was the result for both. Apparently, Mr. Peters never held it against one of the individuals, as it was he who submitted Kevin's name for induction to the wall. Creativity was also a high-ranking quality. Most high school yearbooks traditionally list the valedictorian and salutatorian of the graduating class. As editor of the 1986 Putnam High School yearbook, Kevin felt that it was important to also list the third-ranking student. And though he denies making that decision, we'll let you guess who the third-ranking student was. There are many more stories that will probably be brought up again this evening as this group of friends relive the good old days. But they do point out another great Kevin Kennedy trait.
Kevin would go above and beyond. He'd be your blocker. He'd be there for community events. For his Eagle project, he reinstituted the signage on the nature path in town. Kevin, you'd ask him to do things. He wasn't one that's at home watching TV. He was always out and doing whatever he could to help out anyone that asked.
Those relationships that developed at Putnam High with John, Dave, and Brad continue to this day. As he climbed through the military ranks, these buddies have been invited to share in many celebrations.
When I look at Kevin and think back, I think the term honorable would really describe Kevin. And when you look at his career, what would be more honorable than to serve your country, especially like he, at the highest level?
It all started when Kevin, Sister Colleen, and the Kennedy family moved back to Northeast Connecticut from Texas in 7th grade. There was only one day left in the school year, but his parents, Brian and Irene, made him attend anyway, and those friendships began. Scouting activities, athletic participation, especially track and soccer, and Friday night poker games were a matter of routine get-togethers. And then it was time for college, and Kevin headed to the United States Air Force Academy. It was a trip to the academy in 1978 that had been a deciding factor in that choice. Upon graduation from the academy, he was commissioned second lieutenant, and his first duty assignment was in Los Angeles. A Super Bowl party in LA led to a chance meeting with a couple of girls from back east, Ginny and Cindy from Georgetown, Massachusetts. As the conversation continued, a connection was made between Ginny and Putnam, Connecticut, and a new relationship began, but between Kevin and Cindy. 25 years later, and 5 children, David, Victoria, Ryan, Samantha, and Mark, it appears it was a good match. Second Lieutenant Kennedy began his undergraduate piloting in 1990, and student training on the B-1 started in 1993. It was in this aircraft that he had the experience of breaking the sound barrier. He logged more than 3,400 hours of airtime, including 720 combat hours over Afghanistan and Iraq, and was vice commander of the 379th Air Expeditionary Wing in Southwest Asia that participated in Operation Iraqi Freedom. In 2013, he returned stateside as Director, Chief of Staff of Air Force Strategic Studies at the Pentagon. He remains at the Pentagon in his current duties as Director of Cyberspace Strategy and Policy in the Office of the Secretary of the Air Force.
In the brief time I have left at Putnam High School, I do want to spend some time and show these videos to the students that I have now and give them an idea of, just because you come from a small school, you have the ability, you have the foundation to accomplish some great things. And you look at a guy like Kevin Kennedy, who was sitting in these seats, some 33 years ago, and this is what he was able to attain. So if you have the perseverance, you have the desire, this is something you also can accomplish.
From his days as second lieutenant in 1990, he has risen through the ranks and attained many major awards and decorations, including a Bronze Star, Legion of Merit, a Meritorious Service Medal, among others. On Valentine's Day of this year, his most recent promotion was to the rank of Major General. And it was on this occasion that he again invited his old buddies from the high school days to witness the ceremony and be part of the celebration.
Kevin is he's a busy person these days, as he was when growing up. I don't know how he juggles his family and his new role that he has with the government. He followed his dreams, and I told my family and friends that we're extremely proud of Kevin and all that he's accomplished. He knew from a young age what he wanted, and he went ahead and got it accomplished and did it.
Security at the Pentagon for this event was over the top, but obviously not as tight as it could or should have been. Both cheaters on that long-ago chemistry exam were admitted without question. When communicating with his pals from Putnam High, it becomes obvious that the bond forged in the 1980s had a special significance. It is also noted that the respect that they have for Major General Kevin Kennedy is beyond reproach. They recognize what he has achieved in his personal career, but more importantly, what he has accomplished and contributed to his country. There may be times, even tonight, when he is still Kevin, but they also don't hesitate to claim, "This is my friend, General Kennedy."